Hey, everybody, this is Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio. You are listening to Bryan Bowden and the crypto guru, Ronald Murphy, right here on Inside the Goblin Universe. Let's get this thing going.
Well, that wasn't supposed to stay up there too long,
That's amazing. Hey, Goblins, welcome to Inside the Goblin Universe. It's been a while, and I was absolutely impressed by that little introduction there, my friend.
I think it worked out pretty good. I'm going to play around with the video a little bit more, and I wanted to thank Dave Scott, because what we do for our shows is we usually get our guests to, do the intro themselves, and Dave was up there, and Dave is the king of this stuff. He is the Canadian coast to coast. I think he's better than them, but that's just my 2 cents. So
that's right. No, I was blown away. As soon as I saw that opening, I thought, I want to stay around and watch this program.
I want to watch this program too.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, my brother, it's been a while. We've been on a hiatus for a while. You've been doing some things. I've been doing some things, but the Inside the Goblin Universe has not really been doing much, just simply because life has been getting in the way.
I think we've been brewing stuff inside the Goblin Universe.
I think that's it, man. I think that's it. And a lot of things, I think that things happen for a reason. Look, we're all down this path of life, this labyrinth that we're treading.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we go diverging pathways, but I'm glad to see that we're both on the screen at the same time again. It's been too long.
It's been way too long. I really, I want to give a shout out to everybody there. That we're doing our best to get something going on here and there, and we want to make sure we continue doing what we're doing, because this is like season 5, actually.
That's right. And not only doing what we're doing, but also putting out quality stuff. I mean, we could throw together, an hour of crap, but, we usually strive to bring out something that's
right.
That's cutting edge and worth watching.
Yeah, no, you know what? Here's the thing about this show and what we do, and sorry about the noise, folks, but it's still daytime where I am. The thing is this. We have done our best to always bring you a quality product, something that's important. If we're bringing a guest on this show, it's very important, and they're an important person. They're worth listening to and paying attention to, and we're going to continue that stuff. Plus, that man, the crypto guru, Ronald Murphy, we're going to start dabbling into a little bit of the tarot, if I'm correct, right?
We are. That's the one thing that, people have asked, what I've been doing on this hiatus. One of the things I've majorly that's been impacting me is that I've been writing about the idea of the collective unconscious and the idea of archetypes for a while. That's the way I approach the paranormal. That's the way I approach the cryptozoological. So it came to me about a year ago that it's something that I need to tap into on a more wider perspective, just not the idea of the paranormal and things that go bump in the night, but actually how it pertains to me as a human being. And the one book that you so eloquently edited for me, the Harmonics of Humanity.
Yes.
That is one of the things that was kind of like a turning point for me, and kind of looking at myself about, the kind of person that I want to be. And so since the last time we talked, I've been doing a lot of shamanic studies, and I hope that I can bring together something that is going to be interesting for the our viewers as well as for me, because I'm really into it. I really like the idea of oracles and the way we can interpret our surroundings, and that's one of the things I do want to bring to the table, literally.
Yeah, literally bring to the table. Yeah. And we have a pretty big table. I mean, the Inside Goblin Universe is vast. But it's funny that you've been doing that, because he knows that I've been doing some stuff in that realm as well. A lot of this stuff is about consciousness, vibration, frequency, energy. Mm-hmm. And we've been, together, we've got, when you have this, what we've experienced the last year and a half plus 2 years, you got to take care of your immediate family first. That is our first goblins. Ron has a little bit more than me in Goblin Zone, but we still we're talking. We're on the phone. We're going to be we just want to figure out what the main goal is to make our lives as well as your lives happier
Right.
and better.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that is the thing. The way that we work in tandem and as a team, there's a lot of things, quite frankly, that I would not have been able to come to draw the conclusions that I've had unless it was with your input. We've been sounding boards to each other for so many years right now. And really, the person that who I am today has so much to do with the way that we've interacted with each other. So, whenever I wrote my first book, which is probably going on about 7 years now.
Right.
If you would have go back in time and interviewed that person, I've come a great ways from my original perceptions and my original beliefs to where I am now, and that is because you and I have been partnered on so many things.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, here's the fun part. I'm he's my brother. Whether you've always from day one there's this kismet, this magic, this something, and I've always said that when we meet people in this field, it was meant to be. There's nothing like called a coincidence. That does not exist. We were destined to meet, and the connection we have and the closeness we have as brothers far exceeds all this stuff. But we're definitely we're in the right path, I believe. And it's taken a long time, though. But, it's the right path.
It's a journey. I think that anybody that starts out in this business and is in the same place they started out years later, they're definitely not on any kind of path. They're stagnant.
Yeah.
The way that we're approaching the paranormal and the cryptozoological is really something that I didn't have in my wildest imaginations whenever I first started. I honestly didn't. I thought that this stuff was a litany of reports of people talking about seeing this and that and collecting that kind of stuff. But the idea, the conclusions that we've been able to draw and the ideas that we've come up with, again, nobody's an expert in this field. We've said that many times. But the way we approach this field is so multidisciplinary that I think that we are giving a very unique look. We're not pigeonholed in any way.
No, you know what? What's really funny? This is how great this show is. Ron and I have had a variety of guests on this program, and everyone that's come on, it was a little bit like I didn't want to do it. Like a Steve Alton. When Steve Alton came on, I think one of our first shows, he was like, I didn't really want to do this show, but you guys are great, and I can't wait to get back on. And we're going to get Steve Alton back on because I want to see how he's doing, faring, and what he has new in the pipeline or on the typewriter.
That's right.
Typewriter was before the computer, folks.
It's like radio before the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, everybody has said the same thing, that we have a great show. We ask great questions. Ask Ken Gearhart. Ask everybody we've had on. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to continue doing it. And I'm glad we're going live stream. This is like the 5th season, believe it or not.
That's right.
It's taken a while to get there, but it's the 5th season.
It's taken a while to get there, but I think that the journey is well going to be worth, or the destination will be well worth the wait. Although I don't think we're ever going to have a complete destination. One of the problems that I think a lot of people do understand, but a lot of our viewers probably don't either, is that I live in Western Pennsylvania and Bryan lives in New York City. So there's a vast distance there. But we try to get together a couple times a year, and usually that does work out. COVID has thrown a bit of a wrench in our plans, and like everybody's plans, but we still persevere. We're still going on this undaunted quest into the shadowy realm.
We are in the shadowy realm. And a lot of that's taking place today. There's a lot of strange stuff. I mean, what I've always said to Ron is, whenever you get the opportunity to be on something or do something, do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for, hey, I have no jealousy. I encourage Ron to do things. He encourages me to do things. And, because of the distance that we're separate. We're always looking out for each other, trying to bring each other together. Hopefully a filming, a TV show, or something that's coming up. And I'm always working. I know he's always working. But, I want that man to be, first of all, he should be a professor. You should be teaching this in class. I mean, the books alone are amazing, but your gift to explain it in layman's terms as well as in the higher realm, the more scientific or, intellectual realm is fantastic, and I can't compliment you more about that.
I appreciate that, and I'm very flattered by that. But I think that you and I are in the same boat. We're passionate about this, right?
Yes,
and we don't want to keep it to ourselves. We have been, fans of this for a while. I still watch the TV shows, and whenever I go to conferences and I see somebody that I've seen on TV, I'm still one of those fanboys, and I want to go over there and talk to them and get their autograph. And I think that's a good way to be, very wide open and very kind of naive whenever it comes to this, because the last thing that I want this field to do is jade me. I don't want to be one of those people. And there's a lot of people out there, Brian, this, firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that have become so utterly jaded by the process of becoming a brand or becoming somebody that they really forget why they're in this. And they become little more than a spokesperson or the talking head. I never want to be that way. You never want to be that way.
No.
And I think that's the reason why we're kind of where we are right now. We don't take advantage of anybody. We don't stab anybody in the back. And I think that when we talk to people, when people talk about us, nobody has any real criticisms to say about you.
No, I don't think they do. And, it's really interesting. We've been the Goblin universe for many years now, long before a popular, you want to call it Amazon Prime or whatever they were on, show came out. And I've always been the first one to say, hey, this is a great, they did a great job with this. But, and someone who appeared on that show, first appearance ever in anything, was on Inside the Goblin Universe.
That's right.
Hashtag Goblin. Okay. It's just it's very funny how, not that they owe us anything, and I'm not asked to owe anybody anything.
No, absolutely not.
But we, it's very interesting. Not only do they not acknowledge that, but I know I'm blocked, and it may be for my political philosophy, but I'm not talking politics now. But I'm blocked. I try to contact these people to come on, and they blow you. They don't even want to know you at this point. But right. These are we've been doing it, and we're more than happy to share the universe with everybody. Give everybody a key. We wanted these people on to begin with, but for some reason, and I think it's fear, they don't want to come on.
That's a great point. I think what happens in this field, really beyond any other field that I can think of, that there are teams. People take sides. It's us against them. That's not the way this is intended to be, folks. It's intended to be sharing. Nobody has a copyright on anything whenever it comes to this. And I really want to see people opening up and being instrumental in helping somebody up where they want to. You know what I mean? Let's help people. I have no problem doing that whatsoever, because like I said at the very beginning, I'm still in awe of these people. Kenny Irish right now just came on. And he's one of those guys where I've interviewed him before. You and I, we have the same agent as he does, or
I don't know what's going on with that one.
With that thing, but whenever I get a chance to meet him, I'm still going to be one of those giggling fanboys that want an autograph. You know what I mean? Because what he does is something different than I do, and he puts his whole heart and soul in it, and it really kind of polishes the world in which we live in a little bit finer.
Yeah, it's very interesting, just so everybody knows that if I'm just going to put this up here, you got to give Facebook permission to see your name and stuff. So if you go to the following address, StreamYard.com/Facebook, you'll give them permission, and then we won't see you guys as user. But, Kenny, being the guy he is, Kenny's a great guy. Kenny knows marketing. Kennedy's been, not only is he a good author and a great author, and he puts out some really interesting, books on cryptids and stuff, but he knows how to market it the right way. And I've never had a problem with Kenny. Kenny's never had a problem with us. I want to get you on the show, Kenny. So if you type in when you come in and chat with Mr. Crypto Guru and myself, love to have you in here. But, two of my favorite folks. But this is what we do. We want to, we're always willing to help people go and move. But you should remember, a little bit like, well, I got my start on this show, or I did this with this guy, um, it's just common courtesy. I think a lot of people have lost their manners.
Mm-hmm.
But and getting back to what we were originally talking about, those people that think they're the originators of things. These are the same people that went off and attacked and said some nasty things about Cody and Centauri.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was just, look, you know what? You guys weren't the first ones to have a museum or a paranormal exhibit. And I'm not mentioning their names, but I'm going to tell them straight up. You weren't the first. There's P.T. Barnum. There's John Zaffis. I mean, there's the Warrens.
Right, sure,
the Warrens. Right. Come on. So, you know what? There's plenty of, as I say, there's plenty of room in the paranormal sandbox for everybody. Come on in, play. Let's make sandcastles together.
Let's make sandcastles together. That's right. Let's not, instead of drawing a line in the sand, it would be so much better if we would make sandcastles together, because we might get a little bit closer to this mystery that we're all looking at, It's always good to have a new set of eyes, or a fresh set of eyes, on something that is an ancient, very old idea or concept or archetype. By shedding new light on it, sometimes we can see the picture a little bit clearly. What's going on though in the field right now, and I'm very sad to say, but what's going on right now is that we are getting the overall view smudged because we are not allowed to see out of somebody else's glasses. It's like, we have the vision, and we can kind of allow. It's kind of like Plato's cave allegory.
Yeah, it's funny you say, I use that. That is the one thing I go to every time we're talking about this. But continue.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what it is. I mean, they'll allow you to see the shadows,
right?
But, for goodness sake, they will not allow you to turn around.
Oh, no.
What's happening behind?
Don't look over that rock. I always you gotta take a philosophy class to understand the concept here. Right. But that's right. I mean, it's just incredible.
Right. Well, I think that's where my journey is leading me now, and that's from writing that book last year. That is the kind of the thing, because we as human beings have been encultured, indoctrinated. The idea of the way school works, even higher education is,
right,
to be very happy with watching the shadows on the wall all day. And I am one of those people that I've come to this point now in my life at 52 years old, where I want to turn around and see what's making these things myself. And that it means, that covers everything. That covers, UFOs. That covers, life after death. That covers any kind of paranormal phenomenon. But it also covers other things, like the idea of the essence of love and the essence of, humanity. All this kind of stuff is covered in this.
Oh, there's our buddy Chris Evers. I love you, Chris. You are a brother. I hope you're well over the pond. And OLM magazine is always there in my heart. Yeah, it's been a long time to get back there. I'm just commenting on, I want to put the Facebook user there, but it's Chris Evers. He's got a great magazine. He puts on a great conference. And I hopefully you get the conference going. I'd love to be there and speak, and I don't know what's going on these days, but it's been a while since we've been back into your bar and doing things. But I like what you've been saying, because I've noticed all this fighting between the cryptid people. There was, I mean, to the point where it's like, I heard there was death threats.
That's right.
I'm like, so I'm just trying to figure this out. Let me get this straight. You're arguing over something that is, for the most part, a mystical creature that nobody has in its possession. So you're arguing over theories. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. This is good. And you're threatening people. This is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. That's right. Benjamin Radford, one of these great skeptics out there, he said the greatest threat to the research of Bigfoot is not outside forces. It's the researchers themselves. They are the greatest threat to the credibility of this field. And I think by extension, we can take that out to anybody, ghost hunters, UFOs, whatever the case may be, whatever kind of fringe type of esoteric quarry is your goal. you're always going to be judged by your merits and how you react with your colleagues. And for goodness sake, my friend, people out there are mean spirited. They're condescending.
Oh my
Uh,
God, yeah.
and and again, if I were a younger man, I said this on one show that I was on a couple weeks ago. If I were a younger man, I would not have the Constitution to withstand this. I would have bowed out a long time ago. There's no way I would want to put up with this.
We there and I want to add to those people. There are people out there that purposely try to break up a great relationship, and will do anything they can to break it up, and they play each other against each other. Now, here's the deal. That man that's on the show with me, my paranormal brother, love him to death. I know he loves me. I got his back. He's got my back. You're not breaking anything up. We've been through a lot.
Oh, we have.
Okay.
Lot, yeah.
And let me tell you something. He can attest to it too. There's not many people on this planet that you can lean on like we've done for each other.
Well, sure.
That so, yeah. But it's. I don't think I could handle it too either.
Well,
I'd be in paranormal jail maybe.
Right, that's right. That's right. Well, there's a lot of jealousy in this field. There's not a lot of new ideas. That's one of the biggest problems is there's not a lot of people out there coming up with a lot of new ideas. There's a lot of people out there that recycle other people's ideas. But once somebody comes up with an idea all of their own, and then that's the time whenever things start falling apart. And again, that we've been doing this now for almost a decade, and we've seen a lot of things come, and we've seen a lot of things go. But there's a lot of maturity that's come through us as well too. We've matured. We've kind of gnawed at the wood a bit. We've had our teeth a little bit more sharpened now.
Yeah. Our fangs.
But
right. and this is why when we do the research and we get things going, I mean, right now I apologize for my backdrop. I had to get this quick. It's a really weird time. We're going to try to schedule something every so many when we have guests, but we're not going to go crazy because there are other priorities just right now, but we're definitely going to be doing more shows, and we're going to do pop-up stuff too, where we're going to ask questions of Ron, and he's going to tell us through the divination of the cards what he thinks the outcome will be. He feels the outcome will be, and we're going to track it. Also, we're probably going to be giving away some things too. I mean, that's like maybe a T-shirt or something like that. Or do they have bumper stickers anymore?
I think that they do. I think that they might have them bumper stickers out there or keychains or something.
Yeah.
But it's really good because one of the things is that I need to interact with people. And I went through such a depression whenever I was unable to interact with anybody. When the conferences were canceled, I just needed something to do with my time. I love my family, but being with them 24/7 is difficult. That's right. Difficult, right? And and they also treat this place as if it were a sit-down restaurant. And after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they just get up off the table, and then I have to clean up from them, and then go to work and work 8 hours, and then come back and deal with it all again.
I told them to say, like, when you have to go and you don't want to clean up, say, hey, we got theater tickets. We gotta go.
I love it. I'll have to remember that because it will lessen my urge to strangle them to death. But no, I need, and you're the same kind of social animal that I am. We need people to talk to. It was, let me see here. I'm trying to think how long ago it was that we were at the Para Unity in Woodbridge, New Jersey. How long ago was that? That
was almost 2 years ago.
I think 2 years ago, and that was at the very beginning?
It was just before. That was the end. That was the year that I think the COVID. It was either that year or the year just before it. I don't know, a couple months before it.
Yeah.
So the COVID went.
I can't remember if we were there. Was it in August? Is that when we were there?
I think we were there in like May.
Oh, okay. Maybe we were.
May that year. Yeah, I think it was the year that. Well, not the year, but not that far off from when everybody shut down.
Yeah, but
because I was looking forward to the second one, they invited us back. But
that's the reason that I brought this up is because it's difficult to put a label on us. I will tell you that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because we're not ghost hunters. We are not your stereotypical cryptozoologists. We really don't have a proper label to put on us, and I like that idea. I like that idea.
I'm fine with it.
That's right. So people just naturally assume that whenever we go to conferences, nobody will want to talk to us anymore. But I will tell you, Bryan, the time that you and I spent in New Jersey, you and I had talked so much that at the end of the day, we could feel our lungs actually moving within our body because we had inflated them so much.
Yeah.
People that put on these conferences don't understand that there is a genuine desire to talk to people out there like you and I.
Oh,
they
yeah.
just simply don't put in the effort.
I'll tell you what, I kind of was a little upset initially that we were off the beaten path when we first were doing it. But, between you, myself, and Tom, I mean, you were doing kind of cryptids, and Tom was doing UFOs, and I was kind of bridging the gap because there is a correlation between the two, in my opinion, in my own research. But you know what? We blew the doors off a lot of people. I don't think people expected it. A lot of people came in. I mean, I didn't think I stopped talking until I left, at about an hour after I left.
Yeah.
It was all day long.
You were so exhausted you fell asleep in your car.
Yeah, I did. I missed the party that we were invited to, and I apologize to John and Chris about that. But getting back to that whole thing, it's like, I heard they have another group that is coming, and they went in a different direction. I'm like, but you know what? When you're inviting people, and he's old enough to know that when you've invited people to come back, they want and they express the interest to come back. There's nothing wrong with having more of that at the expo.
There's nothing. I mean, even outside,
even a table.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, I don't know exactly how you get into those pearly gates. We've been inside of them a couple times, Bryan.
Yes,
but in order to stay in there, is it that we're not kissing enough butt? I'm not sure. Is it because we have not taken sides and aligned ourselves with a particular team? I'm not sure. But if that is what you have to do, then I seriously want no part of it, and I will just simply do other conferences.
Right. I mean, look, again, not my conference. So I'm just saying, as someone who has been invited back, I was looking forward to it. But I understand, you do whatever you got to do. It's your conference. I don't really have any ill will towards them for doing it. But me being a marketing business guy, I'm like, more is better than less. What does it cost me to have them come in and be at a table? Well, we can't give you the room, but can you do a table? Yeah, we can share a table.
Right. Well, I think that our audience needs to understand that we're not getting paid for these conferences.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
I mean,
and not only are we not,
that would be
paid,
nice.
That's right. Not only are we not getting paid, but we're also not even getting a complimentary room. Right. So this was all on our dime. The reason why you and I wanted to be a part of this is to meet people and talk. So there's no ulterior motives. And that is one of my biggest things. There was no financial reason for us not to be there. Let's put it that way. If they would have set a table out outside, as a matter of fact, don't even use your own table. I will bring my own table with me.
Right.
We will set a tent out outside and we will discuss cryptos, we'll discuss cryptids with people, UFOs, whatever the case may be, because people want to talk about that. But, go spend the $50 for a gallery reading or, $25 for somebody's autograph. That's fine if you want to do that. But I really think that takes away the true nature of why we started this.
Right. I mean, again, we started for getting answers and truth and bringing people real bright information. I think when you mentioned it before, we're not part of the right crew. Like I love TAPS. Jason, Grant, the whole crew, everybody at TAPS, they're the ones that really started a lot of this stuff.
That's right.
Okay. And had we been on Ghost whatever, TAPS or whatever the hell it's called, Ghost Hunters and stuff as investigators or whatever, we'd probably be offered quicker than being the fact that you've been on several TV shows. I've been on several TV shows. I got a movie coming out, about Star Children and Pine Bush. I mean, I did a 2-hour special. You've done tons of specials. It's not like we haven't been or as seen on TV.
Right.
and it doesn't cost you anything. So this is where I'm like trying to wrap my head around this whole thing.
Right. No, I agree with you. So we have talked about some of the experiences that leave us with a bitter taste in our mouth. But I think that this kind of reunion show, this kind of show after our hiatus, it's a good thing to point out some of the really good people that are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Ken DaCosta.
Awesome.
One of the best human beings out there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he will be one of those people that once he's your friend, he's always going to be your friend. You know,
he's a great guy.
He is right, and he understands how this works.
Yep.
Stephen Borsello, one of my true friends as well too. And then we have, of course, Dave Scott, who will always be there for either you or
Commander Scott.
That's right. So when we talk about people, I mean, it's not all bad. There is a reason to keep on going. Eric Altman, Ken Gearhart, all these guys are really good.
Butch Witowski's great.
Absolutely, that's right.
You know, Sean Faulkner. Sorry, I'm going PA. You want to go PA? Let's go PA.
Yes.
Lon Strickler, Sean Faulkner, Butch Witowski, Eric Altman. Come on, and then hit Wisconsin X4, Jay Chochin. Great guy.
Yep.
You know,
and Linda Godfrey, and all these great. So there are a lot of people in there that really do need our applause, and it's not all bad all the time. But it's a shame that we have to talk about the things that leave a bitter taste in our mouth, and instead of talking about all the beautiful things. But sometimes it hurts you. You know, it hurts you as a human being to think why somebody is not allowing us a part of their reindeer games.
Yeah, I know. I want to be a dentist. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
That's right.
Bumbles bounce. You can actually, with the beard like that, you're Yukon Cornelius.
I could be Yukon. That's right. Yeah.
You got to pick up an axe and go.
Nothing. That's right.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that.
Is this the point in the show where I sing, "It's always tomorrow"?
Oh my goodness, man! The fun we have on the show, and this is just some of the stuff that you would be getting if you and I were together in person. You know.
Oh yeah. We're working on that though.
Absolutely, and I think that as this world will open back up again, and it might take a little bit longer, but I mean, it's going to eventually open up. But you and I did Eric Altman's Bigfoot camping adventure, which is one of the greatest things that I've ever done in my research. Oh, the other thing I want to talk to is Brad Blair. I keep on forgetting this guy. He's up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. He also not only a good radio guy, but he's also a great investigator as well too. So I was thinking about him as well. There are a lot of good people out there. But I mean, some of the most fun we ever had was with our friends that are in this industry. You know.
You know, and I'm hoping, Eric, if you're listening, you'll come on the show. I want Eric on the show. I want Butch. I want Sean, and I want Lon. Mm-hmm. I want the PA Coalition here, the PA Bigfoot Coalition on to talk. Let's have a roundtable. But besides that, I'm hoping for another Bigfoot camping weekend because something that I've penned and it's going to be published soon is active intelligent encounters, and that goes for. Not only extraterrestrials and crafts, but also for Bigfoot / Sasquatch. How you can prepare for having an active, interactive, intelligent encounter.
And I think that a lot of people. I mean, first of all, I don't believe that anybody has ever written a book on that subject. Yep. And a lot of people don't think about that. I remember one time whenever you and I were having a discussion about this, and the idea that it's almost an unwritten code between the person, the experiencer, and that which is being experienced. And there is a certain mindset, I think, that you have to go into in order to have these kind of encounters in many ways.
Yes.
And I think to actually write about that and address it shows that this rabbit hole goes a lot deeper than we originally imagined.
Yeah, I have it down. I penned it. I discussed it on a couple of shows previous to this one. I wanted to bring it on this one, but do the timing, and each of our schedules, we have to figure out timing when we can actually get here in the right time and promote it properly. But it's a great concept. And I'll tell you one thing: when you go into these situations as an investigator, researcher, or if you want to have the experience, it's all about the intention.
It is, right?
And that goes back to the Harmonics of Humanity, your
That's
book, talking about intention. Very, very key part there. But I'm looking forward to this new season. I have Miss Aida, who I'm dying to get on because I want you to ask her some questions. And she does hoodoo and magic and stuff, and we want to get her on there. I mean, again, like I said, Eric Altman, I want to get some of these people back on here so we can start talking about this stuff, and maybe we can get my buddy Riz.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really one of the first interviews that we had that kind of allowed me to see in that world perspective, that this is a very ancient lineage that we're sharing. The research that we're doing does not go back to the 1970s and Leonard Nimoy in Search of. It goes back into the distant past where we were experiencing things as a very recent arrival to this realm of being as human beings, as Homo sapiens. We were experiencing things that we could not explain, and what we had experienced left such an indelible mark in our collective psyche that we bear those scars to this very day. And these are the things that I really want to get to the bottom of. That's my passion, the idea of the archetypes. So,
no, you know what? And it's you do a kick-ass job with it in the books, and I know that's always been your foundation, because once you get the archetype, the house that you're building with information and research is just going to stay there. And I'm telling you, if you need a source for about cryptids and this stuff, that's the man. I'm going to point to you on that way. It's always the reverse. I forgot about that. But yeah, you got to get Ron in your program.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. As we hear the inner city, the
sounds, I couldn't mute it fast enough. Okay. I apologize.
No, I think that gives a flavor to the show. That's
cool. You know what? That's how we roll.
That's right. My little bucolic splendor of Western Pennsylvania, looking out into a rural setting of trees and birds, and then you have the whistles and sirens.
Yeah, I have a brick and mortar and a lot of people and a big city background that no one's really going into anymore.
I know. But you are also you're in transition. Look, every human being necessarily has to be in some sort of transition, because homeostasis within the human being is one of the most deadly things that could happen, because that breeds complacency, and the human spirit has no place in a world of complacency. But you are in a transition the same as I am as well too.
Yep.
There are major life events that are coming about that we shared. So you have had death in your life in the past year.
Yeah.
I've had death in my life in the past year.
It's like a daily basis, really.
I've also had birth, though, in my life. So,
oh, yes.
Yeah. But so what we're doing right now is we are going through those kind of hurdles and those kind of obstacles that, sometimes, you have to ask, God, why me type of things. But I'm confident that you and I have the perseverance to overcome such obstacles and see it through until the very end. So that being said, I'm not going to tell any tales out of school or anything, but the current situation that you and I find ourselves in is going to be very different in the situation we find ourselves in a year from now. So
right.
I think I want the audience to understand that as well too. So as we're working to bring you shows and as we're working to give you new content, there are also things going on in our lives that would probably require a little bit of goodwill and some happy thoughts and some prayers coming our way too.
Yeah, that would work. That would work. Happiness and prayers would work. I can deal with that right now.
Yeah.
It's going to take it a little bit slow. Every day seems to be a new chapter of who's going to die this week, type of thing. And I just don't want to. I really don't want to deal with that, for the most part.
And also where we are ultimately going to end up in the next year, and what our calling is as well too. This kind of ever evolving vocation of who we are as individuals on this planet as well too, until this mortal coil gives away. So I mean that's something to be said, and I think that everybody's on this journey as well too. But people think about, well, why isn't the show on now, or why did they repeat an episode? That might be one of the reasons, because there's some things going on in our lives as well.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. There's a person right there.
Yeah, that person's...
Come aboard.
No. That person's coming aboard. That's the one I'm married to.
I know.
That person. Well, no.
Wait, can she hear us?
No, she goes onto the live stream. She can hear us. But I wanted to share, this is what life is, folks. Mm-hmm. It's the peaks and valleys of an EKG. If you really want to know the ups and downs, that's how you know you're alive, right there. So if it was flatlined, you don't want to be that way. And if it was all peaks, you don't want to be that way. So, we'd like to thank Chris for coming in. And Chris Chris Evers from OLM Mag and the conference. We can't thank you enough, brother. This is great to have you here. God bless, and stay safe over there in the UK, you and the family.
Absolutely. But I do want to get to the point about family, and I did want to give your wife a shout out because you have to understand, this, but a lot of people don't. So whenever you and I first started this show, I have been through a divorce. I've become a single father to 5 children, and I went through 2 extremely hellish, tumultuous relationships that I didn't think I was ever going to go through. So that's the other thing as well too. In that short period of time, how much change has come. And I do envy you as that person that you are, because you have a wife that sticks with you. Of course, there's going to be some bitching and moaning going on, because that's the nature of the beast. But in the end, she's still there for you, dude. And I thought that I had that at one time, and I never did. So I do envy you for that.
Remember the Alamo, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Remember the Alamo. Yeah. That's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Son, what do you remember? I remember the Alamo. Yeah. I'm outgunned and outnumbered. I give her, kudos for allowing me to do things that I like to do. And but it's also like some of this stuff is paid off a little bit, and we're talking about financially. It's not anything you can live on. Trust me. You get a couple $100 here, 500 there, whatever. And now I'm doing a lot of paranormal. We do branding. If our audience doesn't know, like hats, shirts, mugs, you name it, bumper stickers, the whole thing. And I've been doing a lot more of the paranormal community. Different organizations, helping them, get their products out there, because I can offer them a better price and stuff. But I get it. I have a little bit of an advantage with the wife being here, but you know what? Even though you have split from yours, she does come in at the right moments, and she does help out a tad bit. So it's sometimes, it's sometimes. Yeah. I always wish you an all the time type of situation, and finding somebody that's, not Sybil in disguise.
That's absolutely, yeah. I've not found that person yet, and it's one of those things where I'm a typical Pisces, so we'll have to have somebody sometime that we'll talk about, your horoscope sometime. But I'm a typical Pisces where I will jump in. And it doesn't matter what. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be anything. And if there's somebody that's not there to catch your fall, then you lie there broken and battered.
Flopping around.
Yeah, I'm very thankful, though, that you've been there to catch me a couple times, Bryan. So
that's what I'm here for, brother. Yeah. I mean, that's what a brother's for. But, I mean, this is, we figured we'd do a quick type of show today. and then we'll figure out guests we can line them up and dates,
right,
and then get that going. Yeah,
but and going into this, this is a day of getting prepared for school for my one guy. So I have to get going here to do that kind of school stuff here.
It's almost that time.
Next 15 minutes or so. But we did look. You and I have been talking about this for probably about a month, about coming on, saying hello, saying that we're still here, give you a little bit of background about what's going on. And I'm glad we were able to do that today. I am. It makes me feel optimistic. And whenever, I just turned off CNN before I came here, and before all the crap that's going on in the world, this makes me at least hopeful.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. And I wish, we're going to plan it out. We're going to not like, we don't want it to be, don't take it the wrong way, folks, a burden. You have to do it every three, we played that game once before. It was too much, and we can't do that. If we were every Thursday night, I'll be honest with you, we wouldn't be doing this because we couldn't.
Yeah, right.
But what we'll do is even those times when you're at a live event and you're doing a live like Ghost Hunt, I'll key you in. We'll just take your camera and you just point and show it to everybody and be live with us on your ghost experience, because you go up to a lot of these, you do a lot of presentations, and we might as well promote the Ron Murphy machine, because let me tell you, this man knows his stuff, knows it.
I appreciate that. But the true thing is to see us both at the same place at the same time.
We're working on that. Ocean State, let's see if we can get Ken DeCosta and see him say yes.
I was talking to Ken. I hope everything is going to go on okay. I know that as of yesterday, my work has now mandated that I have to wear a mask again, even though I'm vaccinated. It's scary, and I understand people that are putting together these events, because I admire them, because so many of them have put so much hard work into it and money into it, and they want people to be healthy, so they will take a loss. I really do respect these people greatly, the kind of stuff that we're going through. And I know that Ken DeCosta will be one of those guys that will always err on the side of safety, rather than anything else. But I do hope that this is going to be the year. But, we'll keep our fingers collectively crossed and see what happens.
I think it is. I mean, I'm trying to get Ron to Pine Bush in September, early September. I'm going out to Gettysburg. I'll be there the 20th, I believe, this month. And there's some paranormal Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I've never been to Gettysburg. I want to go for a historical fact, but having paranormal there is kudos. So
that's right.
Maybe if you want to take a trip, I don't know. You've been to Gettysburg, probably.
I've never been to Gettysburg, dude. I've never been to Gettysburg, but I will be at Haunted Hillview Manor that weekend.
There you go. Well, you know what? We are going to get us together sometime soon.
We are. We're sometime soon, and I cannot wait until that time comes. But it's going to be sooner than later, I promise you.
Yeah, maybe we can get to Hershey and make it Haunted Hershey.
Hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. They may not want to know that their stuff is with ghosts and whatever. And this is where 15 people fell into the vat of chocolate and drowned.
That's right. And that's what gives
they
them
didn't.
sweetness.
Yeah. It's a huge distance, but we're not giving up. Never give up, never surrender. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and I appreciate this. I know it was a last minute thing to a certain degree. We're going to try to get, what we're going to do is we're going to get a guest, we're going to get a date for the guest, and we're going to book it and promote it prior to it.
Oh yeah.
And another thing I really want to stress, I beg of you, if you missed any episode of Inside the Goblin Universe, you can get us on Podbean or any of the podcatchers, but please go to Inside the Goblin Universe on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and like us, share, and subscribe, because if we can get more people to come in, it helps us out to get it out to other people, more people quickly, but it also opens up the super chat for us, where maybe we can, help us to, through our own little turmoil to get something, a little thank you, a tip jar, as you said.
Right. No, that would be extremely, extremely helpful at this
Right.
this juncture of my life. Also, one of the reasons why to go to YouTube and see our archives, some of that stuff is pretty damn funny.
Oh my God! Matter of fact, Ocean State. Go check out the Ocean State stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. That was pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
that was great. And everybody from Taps we met there was awesome.
The best people around. I'm telling you.
So I'm excited. I thank everybody for coming. I mean, I guess this is a best time to kind of say goodnight or goodbye. You want?
Yeah, you know what? It's a shame that we have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Because I was actually having fun. But
I'm
guess
just thinking the timing.
I know. Yeah. And we rambled on enough. So I think that next time we'll give the people a real quality show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So until next time, hey, inside the Goblin universe, I'm Ron Murphy.
I'm Bryan Bowden.
And we'll see you down the rabbit hole next time.
Thank you, everybody. And good night. Hold that thought.